So we are number 6, energy and pattern.
Mm. Yeah.
It was fascinating last week just to read this, that you know how it says body, then it says mind, and it says spirit, right? Then it
Yes.
says those other things that go soul, and then it's personality. That was
Yeah.
that was I was like, wow. And then is Morontia. Oh my God. Because we usually go like, yeah, soul, and that's it, you know? And then it goes like, yeah, and then comes personality. And how would you embody that? Huh? Like, where do you find that? Like, God, now show me. What's the personality? Demonstrate. Give me the experience of personality. It's obviously the next level from the soul.
Yeah. So it's different to what we think of as personality. Yeah.
Yeah, very different. Yes,
Because it says the one changes reality in an otherwise ever-changing creature experience.
right. This was say, okay, let's just read that one quickly.
Mm.
Personality of a mortal man is neither body, mind, nor spirit, neither it is his is the soul. Personality is the one changeless reality in an otherwise ever-changing creature experience. And it unifies all other associated factors of individuality. Personality is the unique bestowal which the Universal Father makes upon the living and associate energies of matter, mind, and spirit, and which survives with the survival of Morontia soul. Wow. And
Mm.
it's so amazing, guys. Like, wow. This just blew my mind just then. It's like, oh, because, you know, it begins to creep in as an experience. It's like, wow. I think that's like a never changing stillness. And yet I think it's like it's still unique to each of us.
Mm.
My experience. It's like a blueprint of some kind.
Is is it saying that it says the personality is the unique bestowals? Is it different than for every individuated
Well, that's what I
being?
think. Doesn't say that, but I think there is that. Unless it's a blueprint of the Father, which is God. I actually don't know.
Well, the near death people say that they keep their personality, like they don't lose
Mm-hmm.
their like personal
Yeah.
thing, so to speak. You know, they don't. They might merge into the oneness, but they're still who they are. So
Mm.
I don't know.
Don't know, but it feels good.
Yeah, yeah.
The word unique kind of amplifies the idea that it's not like the same in all of us.
Mm.
Mm. Yeah, the personal is of the unique bestowal, unique, which the universe Father makes upon the living and associate energies of matter, right? So I guess it's that gift of God, somewhat. Because it goes into that, like God's personality.
Mm. You don't think it's love?
Well, I
That
think,
love.
you
Yeah.
know, when love first time came to me, I was amazed that I had no idea. before that what that was. But then that was like almost like the next level of it. It's just like as I could handle it is when the love comes. It's
Because in my own experience, love for me
yeah, yeah,
now is the union of form, mind, spirit, God, love. Is love is that thing that glue everything, like
yeah. But you can't define it. That's the thing. If you can define it, then it's human love. But if you can't define it, and it's just like I just did then, I just like
yeah,
like,
yeah, you cannot define it.
It cannot be defined. It cannot be. It could
or understand. It's more of a feeling.
Definitely an experience of,
Yeah.
Yeah. So I have to call it the unbearable lightness of being. That book by Kundera. It's like that was such an perfect expression. It's like it's so strong. It's almost unbearable to stay present there in our momentary existence of physical density. Like it's just density. It's just too contracted or something. I don't know. Anyway, at least we're giggling. That's a good sign. It's always a good sign.
Well, we can start reading.
Yeah. Go, Ruben.
Okay. Energy and pattern. Any and all things responding to the personality circuit of the Father we call personal. Any and all things responding to the spirit circuit of the Son we call spirit.
Wow.
And
here we go.
Yeah. Any and all that responds to the mind circuit of the conjoined actor we call mind.
Mm-hmm.
Mind as an attribute of the infinite spirit.
Wow.
Mind in all its phases. Any and all that responds to the material gravity circuit centering in nether paradise we call matter. Energy matter in all its metamorphic states.
God, I love this shit.
That word.
What's a nether? What does nether mean?
I think it's down below the nether region.
In the region?
Yeah, it's the below regions. I think.
Right. Thank you.
Energy we use as an all-inclusive term applied to spiritual, mental, and material realms. Force is also thus broadly used. Power is ordinarily limited to the designation of the electronic level of material or linear gravity responsive matter in the grand universe. Mm-hmm. Power is also employed to designate sovereignty. We cannot follow your generally accepted definition of force, energy, and power. There is such paucity of language that we must assign multiple meanings to these terms. Well, thank you. I mean, we're not too far from these guys, from these entities. Yeah. They're trying to understand our language. Yeah. Physical energy is a term denoting all phases and forms of phenomenal motion, action, and potential. In discussing physical energy manifestations, we generally use the terms cosmic force, emergent energy, and universe power. These are often employed as follows. Cosmic force embraces of energies deriving from the unqualified absolute, but which are as yet unresponsive to paradise gravity. Emergent energy embraces those energies which are responsive to paradise gravity, but are as yet unresponsive to local or linear gravity. This is the pre-electronic level of energy matter. Universe power includes all forms of energy, which, while still responding to paradise gravity, are directly responsive to linear gravity. This is the electronic level of energy matter and all subsequent evolutions thereof. Mind is a phenomenon connoting the presence, activity of living ministry, in addition to varied energy systems. And this is true on all levels of intelligence. In personality, mind never. Well, in personality, mind ever. Mind ever intervenes between spirit and matter. Therefore, is the universe illuminated by three kinds of light: material light, intellectual insight, and spirit luminosity.
Oh God, I love this stuff, guys.
That's mine.
Like music to my ears, huh?
Light, spirit luminosity is a word, symbol, a figure of speech, which connotes the personality manifestation, characteristic of spirit beings of diverse orders. This luminous emanation is in no respect related either to intellectual insight or to physical light manifestations. Pattern can be projected as material, spiritual, or mental, or any combination of these energies. It can pervade personalities, identities, entities, or non-living matter. But pattern is pattern and remains pattern. Only copies are multiplied. Pattern may configure energy, but it does not control it. Gravity is the sole control of energy matter. Neither space nor pattern are gravity responsive. But there is no relationship between space and pattern. Space is neither pattern nor potential pattern. Pattern is a configuration of reality, which has already paid all gravity debt. The reality of any pattern consists of its energies, its mind, spirit, or material components. In contrast to the aspect of the total, pattern discloses the individual aspect of energy and of personality. Personality or identity forms are patterns resultant from energy, physical, spiritual, or mental, but are not inherent therein. That quality of energy or of personality by virtue of which pattern is caused to appear may be attributed to God, deity, to paradise, force, endowment, to the coexistence of personality and power. Pattern is a master design from which copies are made. Eternal paradise is the absolute of patterns. The eternal sun is the pattern personality. The universal Father is the direct ancestor source of both. But paradise does not bestow pattern, and the sun cannot bestow personality. I am complete.
I am complete. Wow.
Kind of hard to comprehend.
Yeah.
I'm trying to feel it. I this idea of pattern, I kept seeing fractals in my mind, the pattern, you go in and it's the same, and they go in, it's the same, go in, I was sort of seeing fractals in my mind. But I don't know if that's what it means by patterns that are copies.
I think it sinks in, it just at some point you just go like one day you just go, oh, like it reveals itself, it reveals itself. When you least expect it, suddenly dawns on you, like gently just touches you, go like, oh, I'm having an experience of it. So
I'm just let it be.
Yes.
I'm just take these words, and it feels good, even if my mind doesn't understand.
Exactly.
It feels good. Feels good.
Yes. Because for me, what it does is like, of course, has this line, dislodge the mind from its fixed position. I think this is what it does. It just gives you such an overwhelming amount of exquisiteness that just blows the structure that's rigid into more something that's fluid, that becomes like a flow again. Yeah, like a flow of creation rather than some kind of static, non-moving rigidity of like, this is how it is. And it can't be the other way. And then you die.
I mean, we have yesterday with the example of the one that we read on Course of Love. The big circle and the little circle. I mean, that kills a lot. That give me a lot of information.
Yeah.
In my own experience. But I remember, I can never forget when I started reading Course on Miracles that first week.
Yeah.
And I remember saying, I cannot read no more than one paragraph. I don't understand what I'm talking. I don't understand anything, but the feeling was there.
Yes.
But that voice that brought me to Course in Miracles say, Ruben, you are just like a cell, like a little cell,
Yeah.
And your body is a bunch of cells. Just think like a cell. And it was new for me because I don't know anything about cells. I had to buy some books about cells. Everything is comprised there in a cell. They just reproduce. And everything is in each cell. And for me, every thought has everything. Every thought I have is a pattern from the divine or from not divine.
Yeah,
it's just
which is equally divine.
Yeah. Anyway,
yeah.
Who's next?
I'm happy to go.
Okay.
So make it a bit bigger. Okay, the Supreme Being. Number 7. Deity mechanisms of the master universe is twofold as concerns eternity relationships. Could sit with that sentence for a week, no? That's that one sentence, like, phew. God the Father, God the Son, God the Spirit are eternal, are existential beings, which God the Supreme, God the Ultimate, and God the Absolute are actualizing deity personalities of the post-Havana epochs in the time-space and the time-space transcended spheres of master universe evolutionary expansion. It's like a nice meal, isn't it? I mean, who could write this, you know? Who could put this together? Can you imagine the being that summed this up so exquisitely? These actualizing deity personalities are future eternals from the time when and as they power personalized in the growing universe by the technique of experiential actualization of the associative creative potential of the eternal paradise deities. Deity is therefore dual in presence: existential, being of eternal existence, past, present, and future; experiential, being actualizing in a post-Havana present, but of unending existence through all future eternity. God. Oh. The Father, Son, and the Spirit are existential in actuality through all potentials, supposedly experiential. Yeah?
Though all potential.
Did I read it wrong? Though all potentials are supposedly experiential. The supreme and the ultimate are wholly experiential. Deity absolute is experiential in actualization, but existential in potentiality. The essence of deity is eternal, but only the 3 original persons of deity are unqualifiedly eternal. All other deity personalities have an origin, but they are eternal in destiny. Wow. Having achieved existential deity expression of himself in the Son and the Spirit, the Father is now achieved experiential expression of hitherto impersonal and unrevealed deity levels of God the Supreme, God the Ultimate, and God the Absolute. But these experiential deities are now fully existent.
Are not
now fully existent. They are in process of actualization. Yeah. God the Supreme in Havana is the personal spirit reflection of the triune paradise deity. Did you guys watch that little video that I sent out? That little 5-minute one?
Which one?
Did you email it?
The one that just shows how big it all is.
Yeah.
Oh, the graphic one, yes.
Yeah, the graphic one.
Yes.
I think that's very helpful to have that map. It's like it's mapped
Yeah.
it out somehow in such a way that it is just completely mind-blowing. But somehow it establishes some pattern in which one can kind of like a back support somehow. As I'm reading this, it constantly just keeps pouring in. It's like a backbone of it all. Beautiful, huh? This associative deity relationship.
God the Supreme. Right to God the Supreme in Havana.
Okay. God the Supreme in Havana is the personal spirit reflection of the triune paradise deity.
Oh, sorry, yeah.
That's okay. This associative deity relationship is now creatively expanding outwards in God, the Sevenfold, and is synthesizing in the experiential power of the Almighty Supreme in the grand universe. Paradise deity, existential as three-person, is thus experientially evolving in two phases of supremacy. While these dual phases are power personality unifying as one Lord, the Supreme Being.
Yes.
I don't know why it smiles me like that, but I feel like I'm smiling to this was the thing. I used to listen to, I have it on like audio in my car, you know, and particularly this first book, I would just have it played, you know, wherever, just playing over and over. And I would often be sitting there in my car going like, I don't understand any of it. But when I look in a mirror, I'm like smiling ear to ear, and I'm feeling the same way right now. It's just like I can't stop smiling reading this, you know? Like the truth of it somewhere resonates so thoroughly and profoundly inside that it's just tickles something in me that's isn't it? It's just like a little, hey, let me tickle you. God saying, let me tickle you. I'll show you. You think you know something? Well, let me just share a little bit about what it's really like to a point which can be explained. And then we'll get to the thing that can't ever be explained.
Yes. It is incredible when you finally recognize that you are eternal.
Ah,
It's always unfolding and unfolding. And I really thought that I was already at the end. And nope, that's just the beginning.
that's the new beginning, isn't it? Yeah.
Yes.
It's kind of humbling. You're delightfully humbled, you know?
And knowing that is I am just like a cell, it helps me a lot because through the experience and practice and all this stuff, now I can, well, I just have one body, but this body, my physical body, is the universe. That is Ruben.
Yeah, Curse of Love says you are the universe itself, right?
Yeah. So
now it
my
makes
body, this body, Ruben's body, is just an atom or a cell, and this magnificent body that is Ruben. And I'm like, and that's just the beginning, Ruben.
That's just you. Then comes Kim and Misha. And eventually even Kevin the Heaven, you know?
This is crazy.
And
but
then
it feels
Tonka
good.
from England. Here we go. The Universal Father achieves free will liberation from the bonds of infinity and their
What?
what
Oh, that's
mean?
really weird, isn't it? Bonds of infinity.
Look up fetters. Oh yeah, chain or manacle used to restrain a prisoner, typically placed around ankles.
Oh, fetters, yes.
And the feather of eternity by the technique of trinitization, threefold deity personalization.
Yes.
The Supreme Being is even now evolving. Yeah, I love that.
Yes.
The Supreme Being is even now evolving as a sub-eternal personality, unification of the sevenfold manifestation deity in the time-space segments of the grand universe.
Yeah.
The Supreme Being is not a direct creator, except that he is the father of Majeston, but he is the synthetic coordinator of all creature creation universe activities. Supreme Being now actualizing in the evolutionary universes is the deity correlator and synthesizer of time-space divinity of triune personal deity.
Paradise
deity in experiential association with the supreme creator of time and space. When finally actualized, this evolutionary deity will constitute the eternal fusion of the finite and infinite, the everlasting and indissoluble union of experiential power and spirit personality. All time space, finite reality, under the directive urge of the evolving Supreme Being, is engaged in an ever ascending mobilization and perfection and reflecting unification.
Perfecting.
Thank you. I'm like,
this bamboozling language.
I'm completely dislodged.
Yeah.
Oh, Jesus, where am I even?
Maybe start that paragraph again.
Which one?
Power personality.
All time, space, finite reality.
All time space, finite reality under the directive urge of the evolving Supreme Being is engaged in an ever-ascending mobilization and perfecting unification, power personality synthesis of all phases and values of finite reality in association with the various phases of paradise reality to the end and for the purpose of subsequently embarking upon the attempt to reach absolute levels of super creature attainment. Well, that was pretty mouthful.
I hate that phrase onwards and upwards, but it seems to fit here.
me, it just goes inwards.
Outward.
Like microcosm, macrocosm, like all my cells are vibrating, going like, yeah, we are recognized for something finally. Each cell is a planet out there somewhere.
Yes.
Which you come to see because they actually have all the planets, all the thing numbered in there. It tells you exactly how many, where, and what.
Wow.
Even in our local universe, we have something like over 600 inhabited planets, and some of them are not inhabited. It's just
according to Swedenborg, the entire cosmos is in the shape of a man. Like,
American woman.
Oh, whatever, human form.
Personality.
Probably androgynous. I don't know.
Yeah. You gotta have some fun with this. Can you see it like that? Somewhere it smiles you, doesn't it? It's like so exquisite. Suddenly, Course in Miracle becomes like, oh, that's easy. And you just look at it and go like, oh my God, this is like a preschool. And some people are still studying it. Oh. Studying Course in Miracles, like, hello, spare me the misery. Oh my God.
Oh my God. And we have people that already know this stuff and goes to Course of Miracles, and they're just, this is not real. This is an illusion. I don't know what. I mean, they're like talking from that place of unity, and you cannot bring them down. And I mean, I understand.
Total dissociation.
Yeah.
Beautiful.
Yes.
So, do you think we can manage one more? Or
yes.
Are we fried?
God,
no. One more.
One more, you reckon? Who's reading?
You.
Oh, me? Okay. 8, God the Sevenfold. To atone for finity of status and to compensate for creature limitations of concept. The Universal Father has established the evolutionary creature's sevenfold approach to deity. 1. The Paradise Creator Sons. 2. The Ancients of Days. 3. The 7 Master Spirits. 4. The Supreme Being. 5. God the Spirit. 6. God the Son. 7. God the Father. Right. The sevenfold deity personalization of time and space, and to the 7 super universes, enables mortal man to attain the presence of God, who is spirit. Oh.
Wow.
Right.
Shall I read it again?
Read that again?
Yeah.
This sevenfold deity personalization in time and space, and to the 7 super universes, enables mortal man to attain the presence of God, who is spirit.
Mm.
This sevenfold deity to finite time-space creatures, sometime power personalizing in the Supreme Being, is the functional deity of the mortal evolutionary creatures of the Paradise Ascension career.
I love that. I love that Korea. That's like, yeah, when I heard that first time, I'm like, oh, I've got an actual career.
Oh, yes. Such an experiential discovery career of the realization of God begins with the recognition of the divinity of the Creator Son of the local universe and ascends through the super universe, ancients of days, and by way of the person of one of the seven master spirits to the attainment of the discovery and recognition of the divine personality of the universal Father on Paradise. Holy moly.
Mm-hmm. Beautiful.
So we only seem to focus on like the Spirit, Son, and Father, but there's
A bit
four
more.
more,
Just a bit more.
a bit more.
Well, it gets a little bit easier. I mean, this forward, I find this the most challenging section of the whole book, really.
Oh, right, yeah.
Then it just goes into more like a narrative that's like you can at least follow something.
Yes, it's a bit textbook, isn't it?
It's like it's a complete summary in some way, like it's a major summary of it all.
The grand universe is the threefold deity domain of the Trinity of Supremacy, God the Sevenfold, and the Supreme Being. God the Supreme is potential in the Paradise Trinity, from whom he derives his personality and spirit attributes. But he is now actualizing in the Creator Sons, Ancients of Days, and the Master Spirits, from whom he derives his power as Almighty to the super universes of time and space. This power manifestation of the immediate God of evolutionary creatures, actually time, space. What? I'll read that again. This power manifestation of the immediate God of evolutionary creatures, actually time, space, evolves concomitantly with them. Not sure what that means. It doesn't make sense to me. Anyway, the Almighty Supreme, evolving on the value level of non-personal activities.
Probably you can understand because that was like this. Did you understand that word, concomitantly?
It was the way the sentence was put together. It didn't
it didn't really flow, did it?
No, like there's a comma missing or something.
Something, yeah.
Oh.
I imagine concomitantly means maybe at the same time. I'm not sure. I have to look that up. Anyway, the Almighty Supreme.
At the same time, simultaneously.
The Almighty Supreme. Yeah, I think they use a lot of old-fashioned words that maybe we don't use much anymore. Anyway, the Almighty Supreme, evolving on the value level of non-personal activities, and the spirit person of God the Supreme are one reality, the Supreme Being.
Mm.
The Creator Sons and the Deity Association of God, the Sevenfold, provide the mechanism whereby the mortal becomes immortal, and the finite attains the embrace of the infinite. That's beautiful.
Mm. Let that sink in. That's nice. Whatever takes you, allow yourself to be taken. Mm.
The Supreme Being provides the technique for the power personality mobilization, the divine synthesis of all these manifold transactions, thus enabling the finite to attain the absolute and, through other possible future actualizations, to attempt the attainment of the ultimate. Oh my God. The Creator's sons and their associated divine ministers are participants in this supreme mobilization. But the Ancients of Days and the seven Master Spirits are probably eternally fixed as permanent administrators in the grand universe.
Mm.
The function of God, the Sevenfold, dates from the organization of the seven super universes, and it will probably expand in connection with the future evolution of the creations of outer space. Oh dear. The organisation of these future universes of the primary, secondary, tertiary, and quartan.
That's an episode.
The new one, isn't it? Querton, I don't know. Space levels of progressive evolution will undoubtedly witness the inauguration of the transcendent and absolute approach to deity.
Mm-hmm. Beautiful.
It's really like very, very structured, isn't it? In a sense.
Mm-hmm. Like perfectly established, but it's so vast. And so beyond human comprehension. They're even saying, like, we can only tell you this much.
Yeah, and it still is. Probably, probably.
Well, they said right at the beginning, that with the limited, human language.
Yeah.
They're trying to get across something that we don't even have names for.
Yeah. Yeah, there's so many different levels.
All right.
Like it's even hard to get your head around the difference between ultimate and supreme, and like there's so many Uh,
Kind of makes you surrender. You give up figuring it out.
yes.
That's a good place to be in.
Well, I guess we don't really need to know how it all works, do we?
Yeah.
Not necessarily, you know.
It's entertaining.
Yeah.
Sounds like there's a bit too much upper management as far as I'm concerned.
Yeah, in their power suits
It's highly
and their
organized.
thanking careers.
Highly organized.
Yeah. Oh,
You know, I see this structure, and I saw it on, and still seeing it on the Mormon Church.
really?
Every start with a pop, with a big man, and he's surrounded by two guys, and those two guys, they're in charge of 144 issues. And those 144, they're in charge of, God, it's the end. I mean, it doesn't have limit.
Mhm.
So I was like,
Mhm.
everything is divided. But I guess we can see it on the Catholic Church too.
Mm.
I mean, you cannot talk to God, Ruben. You had to talk to all these people before you reach God. I'm like, that's not.
They definitely wear interesting clothes. Just
Yeah.
according to the
Other. I was wearing that stuff. I was being I was doing all that kind of stuff on the temples, all the secret stuff. I'm like, yeah, you had to die to the other world because this inner world is the one moving the other world. But even in the inner world is another inner world inside. I'm like, this is the never ending. Yeah, so
like when Jesus says, my kingdom is not of this world, right? And it makes more sense even.
it is a good business. It is a good business because to be part of that group, you really had to pay your 10% or more. Yeah. I'm like, that's all right. It was a good experience. I mean, I was looking for the truth. I was looking for Jesus. I was looking for God. And I found it. And I found it when I was excommunicated. When they excommunicated me, I'm like, well, it is very obvious this church is not the truth because the truth is here. And that was the only reason for me to join that cult, that group of people.
So it's always good to be kicked out of these things, isn't it?
Yeah.
If you leave, they'll give you a hard time.
Well, I guess this is the end for today. Wow, it's a lot.
Beautiful, guys. That was
Thank you.
so awesome. I think we have just about enough for maybe one more session, maybe even two. My goodness. Hey, we're not in a hurry. It's only 2,097 pages.
Yeah.
Pretty good.
You know, Cole, we're going to leave this body and we're still going to read this stuff in the other worlds. And
Or
we're
we'll
like,
have to live to 700 or something.
Well, no matter what you think, it's definitely going to be different than we think now.
Yeah.
Like you got to die to these belief systems that are limiting, so limiting. You can see how limited the scope of human mind is. Going to work and worrying about the small means of basic survival. Yeah. All right, sweetheart. Well, that was fun. Thank you so much for.
Yes. Thank you.
Thanks for
See you
going.
tomorrow.
We'll be seeing you
Okay.
very soon.
My
Love
God.
you all.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh.